The ugly word that most practices refuse to even think about. Hi everyone, Angus Pryor here, multi-winning practice growth specialist. Now today in my team we've been surveying our clients and looking at how to make our services a bit better. We've got a marketing agency and so we want to make sure that the marketing is delivering and that the clients are getting the result. But one of the things that we noticed, and this is not new, but in a more competitive environment it's more important, is the apparent break in the chain between marketing efforts that are generating leads, generating people to contact the practice, and patients that are actually booking in. And that word that we don't want to think about, my friends, is sales. As a friend of mine, Jesse Green, says, if it sounds like a duck, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Well, the reality is in any healthcare, you've got marketing to generate leads, etc., get interest, and then you've got sales to get people to actually, make a purchase. I'm not talking about being salesy. I'm talking about the process. It's sometimes said marketing is getting people to the door and sales is getting them through the door. And it's obvious from looking at our data and looking at our dealings with lots of practices over many years that many practices are terrible at sales. And I get it. It's kind of like, well, Angus, I didn't get into healthcare to be selling things. But the reality is you stop selling everything and you're out of business. And because we're in a more competitive environment now than we've ever been, getting each part of the business process right is critical to your success. And I had a guest on my podcast earlier this year who said healthcare practices are paid pretty well to be mediocre. Now that sounds tough because we're not talking about the delivery of your service, but from a business point of view, I would say that statement's reasonably accurate. Historically, you didn't have to be good at the business aspects. But the reality is now it's more competitive. We've got to be better at our marketing. And secondly, we've got to be better at our sales. And most of that occurs on the telephone. And the question is, if your team is not trained, be measuring how many potential patients are coming in, to measure the conversion rate, what percentage of those inquiries get turned into appointments. How do you handle price shoppers? How do you handle cancellations? How do you handle preferred provider inquiries, etc.? If you don't get all of those things right, the sales part, then unfortunately it can really undo the success of your business. So what's that word we hate to think about? It's sales, and yet in its purest form it is absolutely necessary. We don't want to be salesy, but we do need to sell stuff. See you next time.